What is good? This is Renegade X, back at it with another episode of the Mind of a Renegade podcast, where I, your host Renegade X, talk about things pertaining to real life topics like psychology and etc. So the reason I'm making this podcast episode is because I had a thought recently. Alright, so the thought is, a long time ago, when I used to work at Walmart, I was talking to one of the employees there when I used to work in technology, or electronics, they would call it. And he said that he loved to fight. At first, at that moment, I wasn't really thinking about it like that. But when I thought about it, I realized I do not like people that love to fight and quick to anger. Now, I want to add some context to this. Alright, in the context of defending yourself, there is nothing wrong with defending yourself. For example, you're just out here minding your business, then some stranger approaches you and tries to attack you to inflict bodily harm. There is nothing wrong with defending yourself. Swing, stab, do what you gotta do in order to protect yourself. Now, in the context of loving to fight, being toxic, okay, let's say person A is the person that loves to fight and is quick to anger. And then there's person B, just minding their own business, going on with their day. Person B accidentally bumps into person A. And person A's reaction is to punch person B in the face. Even though person B, when they accidentally bumped into person A, they were going to apologize and say, hey, I'm sorry. But before they could form those words in or complete sentence, person A has punched them in the face or cussed them out, screamed at them, or all of the above. That is one of the examples. I feel like when a person says they love to fight is they're just waiting for a reason to swing on someone or to cause trouble so they have an excuse to put hands on someone. So to be honest, that statement right there says a lot about a person. Like, they should do boxing or wrestling or something, depending on the mentality of that person. Because there are some people that will take it too far and cause major damage to someone. Especially if you talk to a person that is like that. Because you may want a civil conversation. Because you may want a civil conversation with the person that you're talking to being who they are, ready to fight and etc. You may say something that they don't like, and they are just ready to put their hands on you over a civil disagreement. They're ready to yell at you, cuss you out, and etc. I don't like people like that. Because if your first thought is to want to fight just because of a disagreement or something that you didn't like that I said, to be honest, that says a lot more about you than me. Now, as for the quick to anger, now if somebody is quick to anger over the littlest thing, to the point to where they are toxic and constantly bringing negative energy around them, and that anger can get them in trouble, and it can harm innocent people. That right there is an issue. Because if the littlest thing sets that person off, or they're ready to blow up like that, I definitely don't want anything to do with them. Because that type of anger, and plus that type of anger can also destroy the person that is easily angry. Like I said, there is a difference between that type of anger and righteous anger. Context of righteous anger, let's just say you are in a relationship with a narcissist. So it could be a friend, lover, just some type of relation. This narcissist has abused you, manipulated you, threatened you, and etc. Right there, you have every right to be angry. That right there, righteous anger is justified. Because you're taking all that abuse, you're not doing any bad thing to them, and they are playing these psychological mind games on you to justify their evil deeds. That right there is when righteous anger is justified. And yes, I'm aware of that. People go through things in their lives that shape them into the way that they are. We have flaws, we have trauma, we have things that trigger us. But just because we went through a lot in life, have trauma and etc., that does not give us the right to harm innocent people. It is like this quote that I saw: if you do not heal from the wound that you are bleeding from, you are going to bleed on people who didn't even cut you. So yes, understand that anger is a human emotion, and as we go through stuff and etc. But there are people out here in this world that do not want to be healed at all, and would rather continue bleeding from that wound and bleeding on people who didn't even cut them. There are people that just love to be toxic, negative, and etc. Stay away from those type of people. I want to read some Bible verses that pertain to this topic. Proverbs 22, verses 24 through 25. Do not make friends with an angry person, and do not be a companion of a hot-tempered one, or you will learn his ways and entangle yourself in a snare. Proverbs 14, verse 29. A patient person shows great understanding, but a quick-tempered one promotes foolishness. James 1, verses 19 through 20. Everyone should be quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to anger, for human anger does not accomplish God's righteousness. And also have information that is pertaining to this topic. Quick to anger, love to fight, I'ma put links to that in the description and or comment section. Ways to deal with anger. Number 1. Think before you speak. In the heat of the moment, it's easy to say something you'll later regret. Take a few moments to collect your thoughts before saying anything. Also allow others involved in a situation to do the same. Number 2. Once you're calm, express your concerns. As soon as you're thinking clearly, express your frustration in an assertive but non-confrontational way. State your concerns and needs clearly and directly without hurting others or trying to control them. Number 3. Get some exercise. Physical activity can help reduce stress that can cause you to become angry. If you feel your anger escalating, go for a brisk walk or run, or spend some time doing other enjoyable physical activities. Take a time out. Timeouts aren't just for kids. Give yourself short breaks during times of the day that tend to be stressful. A few moments of quiet time might help you feel better prepared to handle what's ahead without getting irritated or angry. Identify possible solutions. Instead of focusing on what made you mad, work on resolving the issue at hand. Does your child's messy room make you upset? Close the door. Is your partner late for dinner every night? Schedule meals later in the evening, or agree to eat on your own a few times a week. Also, understand that some things are simply out of your control. Try to be realistic about what you can and cannot change. Remind yourself that anger won't fix anything and might only make it worse. 6. Stick with I statements. Criticizing or placing blame might only increase tension. Instead, use I statements to describe the problem. Be respectful and specific. For example, say, I'm upset that you left the table without offering to help with the dishes instead of, you never do any housework. Don't hold a grudge. Number 7. Forgiveness is a powerful tool if you allow anger and other negative feelings to crowd out positive feelings. You might find yourself swallowed up by your own bitterness or a sense of justice. Forgiving someone who angered you might help you both learn from the situation and strengthen your relationship. I know this may be off topic, but to me, forgiveness, it depends on the context and what the person did, because, like I said, there are some wicked people out here in this world, and there are people that will do some heinous, evil things to you, and they don't have a care in the world that they did it. They don't care about the damage that they caused you and other people. Because yes, there are heartless people out there like that. To be honest, it depends on what the person has done, because there are behaviors and actions that are not forgivable. And that right there, the no contact, blocked, everything, the door is closed, period. Nope, locked. It's never opening again. Actions have consequences. But let me get back to the list here. Number 8, use humor to release tension. Lightening up, can help defuse tension, use humor to help you face what's making you angry, and possibly any unrealistic expectations you have for how things should go. Avoid sarcasm, though it can hurt feelings and make things worse. Practice relaxation skills. When your temper flares, put relaxation skills to work. Practice deep breathing exercises. Imagine a relaxing scene or repeat a calming word or phrase such as, take it easy. You might also listen to music, write in a journal, or do a few yoga poses, whatever it takes to encourage relaxation. And also, meditation. Incorporate meditation into your lifestyle when you can, because that helps a lot. Know when to seek help. Learning to control anger can be a challenge at times. Seek help for anger issues if your anger seems out of control, causes you to do things you regret, or hurt those around you. Get anger management, get therapy, get spiritual guidance. And I'm gonna leave a link to that list because all of that information came from a website. And well, that will be it for the podcast episode. Just wanted to get those thoughts out because I've been thinking about that for a minute. But that is all I gotta say. Thank you for listening to this podcast episode. Hit the follow button or subscribe button for more podcast episodes in the future. I do in real life podcast and I do gaming podcast. And also click the bell icon to get notified if the social media that this podcast is on has it. And also check out my socials in the description and or comment section. Alright y'all, I'm out of here. Y'all have a blessed one. Peace.